The GMU Journal of Maritime Research is a viewed online and print multidisciplinary research journal in the English language, dedicated to exploring the dynamic and evolving landscape of the maritime sector. It is published by Thomas Reuters in collaboration with Gujarat Maritime University and is managed by an editorial team comprising.
It is indeed a privilege and a great honor to introduce and welcome Professor Dr. Sanjeevi Shantakumar, a towering figure in Indian legal academia and a leader who has truly left no stone unturned in shaping the future of legal education. He currently serves as the Provost in charge of Gujarat Maritime University and Director of Gujarat National Law University. With an illustrious career spanning over 3 decades, he has become a man of letters in the field of environmental law and human rights law, authoring several books and numerous research publications. Who thinks that the pen is mightier than the sword? He is the proud recipient of the Environmental Law Champion Development Award from the Asian Development Bank, Philippines, and the Best Social Scientist Award from the Indian Society of Criminology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm and resounding welcome to a trailblazer, Professor Dr. Sanjeevi Shantakumar.
Distinguished Chief Guest for this evening, Shri Pankaj Joshi, President of Gujarat Maritime University and Chief Secretary to the Government of Gujarat, Professor Ronan Long, Director, World Maritime University, Sasakawa Global Ocean Institute, Commander Christopher Hutton, Judge Advocate General Corps, Stockton Center for International Law, U.S. Naval War College, Ambassador Arif Hawas Wagreseno, Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, who will be joining us online, Professor Maximu, President, World Maritime University, respected dignitaries, distinguished speakers, colleagues, and my dear participants and delegates of this 48th Conference on Ocean Law and Policy. It is a profound honor to deliver the closing stood law, and the World Maritime University has created this platform that brought together judges, diplomats, scholars, experts, and students from around the world to deliberate on the theme, Developing World Approaches to Ocean Governance, Perspectives from the Indian Ocean Rim. Over these 3 days, we have traveled together from ceremonial openings to deep technical sessions, exploring not only the challenges but also the opportunities that are before us. Today, as we close COLP 48, it is certification and implementation, jointly organized of climate action, regional cooperation, and shared responsibility in maritime governance. On day 2 of the academic session, we began with the introductory remarks of Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, the President of the Indian Society of International Law, reminding us that peace at sea, prevention of pollution, and protection of ocean resources remain as pressing today as they were decades ago. He urged investment in academic capacity and highlighted the role of law schools and maritime universities in shaping future ocean governance. The keynote address was presented by Judge Neeru Chadda, Vice President of the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea, who spoke eloquently on recent developments in the protection of marine biodiversity and the impact of climate change on the marine environment. This was followed by our first plenary on the triple planetary crisis, biodiversity, climate change, and pollution, chaired by Professor Ronan Long. The contributions of Dr. Aleke Stoffen-Bryan, Dr. Mrinalini Banerjee, and Dr. Chaimi Udan offered pathways from the plastic treaty negotiations to regional resilience strategies, reminding us that the ecological balance of the Indian Ocean is vital for sustainable human developments. In session 2, parallel tracks highlighted two pressing concerns under the guidance of Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, speakers Surya Narayanan Sundararajan, Dr. Angelique and Tamara Thomas engaged us with perspectives of small island developing states, drawing attention to their vulnerabilities as well as their leadership in climate and ocean policy. Simultaneously, Dr. Pooja Bhatt moderated a compelling dialogue with Dr. James Nedumpara, Dr. Beatrice Martinez, and Dr. Ika Higuchi, examining the interface of trade, shipping, and climate imperatives in shaping the law of the sea. After the session, we also heard the keynote address by Dr. Kilapati Ramakrishna, Director of Marine Policy Center at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution in the USA. And he is also the advisor to the President of United States of America on this. So the afternoon moved to session 3 with the discussions on interests and infrastructure in the Indian Ocean. Dr. Sanjit Ruhal chaired a thought-provoking panel with Captain R.S. Savan, Dr. Aspasia Pastra, and Dr. Makoto Seta, analyzing the roles of non-state actors and regime interactions. In the parallel session, Captain Sarabjit Parmar moderated deliberations by Tomoyuki Yoshida, Sonali Mukherjee, and Jiongi Lim on the security of critical ocean infrastructure, from vessel traffic systems to undersea cables and energy installations. The day concluded with session 4, exploring emerging regulatory issues. Professor Maria guided us through the complexities of the BBNJ agreement with Dr. Sivathampi Setti, Ms. Riza, and Dr. Kahlil, who underscored the opportunities this agreement creates for developing states. Concurrently, Dr. Sumati Perumal chaired a timely panel with Professor Mayank Suri, Ms. Su Wai Moon, and Commander Abhimanyu Singh, focusing on autonomous shipping, cybersecurity, and the integration of unmanned systems into naval operations. We also had a keynote address by Charlie, Director, Legal Affairs Division, Department of Treaties and Legal Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. On day 3, we started the conference with Professor James Kraska's welcome address, who emphasized the oceans as vital connectors that sustain economies, security, and the health of our planet. He highlighted that dialogue, scholarship, and collaboration in maritime law and policy are essential in advancing the rule of law at sea and ensuring sustainable governance for future generations. Session 5 was dedicated to mineral resources and maritime security. Dr. Gabriela led the seabed mining panel with Dr. Pradeep Singh, Mr. Emil, Dr. Rahul Sharma, and Dr. Venkatesan, highlighting the environmental, technological, and precautionary dimensions of deep-sea resource extraction. In the parallel session, Commander Chris Hutton chaired an engaging dialogue with Dr. Yang Kilpar, Ms. Dita Lilensa, and Professor Adimanyu Udeke, who reflected on pressing security concerns, including navigation restrictions, trafficking, and piracy. In session 6, we turned to legal frontiers. Dr. Manimuthu Gandhi moderated the panel on new technologies with Captain Gurpreet Karana, Dr. Tafsir Martin Johnson, and Ms. Rehana Dawade, who analyzed artificial intelligence, unmanned maritime systems, and the balance between innovation and regulation. Parallelly, Captain Jesus Menako chaired a session on fisheries and food security, where John Vachamparambil, Dr. Kathleen Nall, and Professor Vito de Lucia discussed the legal implications of shifting fish stocks, subsidy reforms, and conservation measures. The afternoon plenary session, session 7, focused on maritime boundaries and dispute settlement. Under the stewardship of Dr. Deepak Shetty, speakers Dr. Angelis, Dr. Murat Sumar, and Professor Yusuke Honda debated unresolved delimitation questions and compliance challenges under UNCLOS. Finally, in session 8, moderated by Professor Surabhi Ranganathan, future ocean governance took center stage. Anum Khan, Dr. Waninto Sowa, and Dr. Rian Derrick reflected on securitization, resilience, and cooperation, offering both regional and global pathways for inclusive governance in the Indian Ocean. Throughout these sessions, one consistent theme has emerged that while the Indian Ocean faces complex challenges from climate change to resource exploitation, from geopolitical tensions to technological disruptions, it also offers a tremendous opportunity to demonstrate leadership, innovation, and solidarity among developed states. The outcomes of our deliberations will not only be carried forward in the forthcoming edited volume, but will also resonate in practice and policy making across the Indian Ocean rim and beyond. Let us carry forward the spirit of dialogue, cooperation, and shared responsibility that has characterized these proceedings. On this note, I thank you all once again for your participation, and I look forward to seeing the continued impact of COLP in shaping a just, secure, and sustainable future for our oceans. As the Provost of Gujarat Maritime University, I am filled with immense pride and gratitude. What a spectacular event this has been. To our faculty colleagues here at GMU, led by Dr. Abhay Singh, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks. Your dedication and tireless efforts were the bedrock of this conference. From the initial planning stages to the seamless execution we have all witnessed, you have shown what true commitment looks like. This event is a testament to your hard work, and I could not be prouder to be a part of this team. To our incredible students, I would request all the students to please rise from the place wherever you are sitting, and I would request the audience to give them a standing ovation to the wonderful students. They are the future of our maritime world. Dear students, your enthusiasm, willingness to learn, and active participation have been nothing short of inspiring. You have not only helped organize this conference, but have also enriched it with your vibrant energy. Thank you so much. The questions you have asked and the insights you have shared demonstrate a promising future for our industry. And special thanks to our esteemed guests, to Professor Ronan Long, Director of the World Maritime University, and to all your distinguished colleagues. Thank you. Your guidance and wisdom were invaluable. The partnership between our institutions has blossomed through this collaboration, and we are deeply grateful for your mentorship. You have helped us set a new benchmark for academic excellence. And to Professor James Kraska of the US Naval War College and to his colleagues, his expertise has been a guiding light. His contributions to the conference theme have provided a depth and perspective that has truly elevated the discourse. We are honored to have had his support and insight throughout this journey. This conference, with its diverse group of experts from across the globe, has been a powerful reminder of what's possible when we come together. We have explored critical issues, shared groundbreaking perspectives, and forged connections that will drive innovation for years to come. This isn't just an end, it's a new beginning. Let's carry the spirit of collaboration and learning forward. The challenges and opportunities facing the maritime world are vast, but so is our collective potential. Let this be the first of many such gatherings where we continue to chart a course toward a safer, more sustainable, and more prosperous maritime future. Thank you all again for making this a truly grand and a memorable event. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Professor, your vision and unwavering commitment to advancing maritime dialogue are the foundation upon which this entire event was built. Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful remarks. We are profoundly grateful. It is a distinct honor to introduce Professor Ronan Long, a true luminary in the world of maritime law and ocean governance. As the director of the World Maritime University Sasakawa Global Ocean Institute and the Nippon Foundation Professorial Chair, Professor Long stands at the forefront of the most critical discussions shaping our ocean's future. However, Professor Long's expertise is not confined to academia. He has been at the heart of policy making, served as a permanent staff member at the European Commission, and representing Ireland and the EU at the United Nations and other international forums. Please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Professor Ronan Long.
First of all, I'd just like to thank the President of Gujarat Maritime University. And I'd also like to thank my friend, Professor Shantakumar. And it's been an absolute honor. It has been the first COLP in India. And in many ways, it's a very happy day because I can ask you a question. Was the conference a success? No, I didn't hear the answer. Was the conference a success? Yeah, and it has been an immense success. And one of the things that I will carry away in my heart is the hospitality, the spirit, the organization. I think in a very negative world, you have lifted our spirits. And in that context, I would like to thank our local hosts, Professor Shantakumar, Dr. Singh. You've got to be promoted. You know, you have done such a wonderful job. The entire support team and all those Tuesday calls over the last 9 months. The planning went on for 2 years. It's been worthwhile. But perhaps most of all, what I will bring away from the capital of India is the extraordinary youth, the extraordinary talents in the students. Not only did you support this event, but you enriched it with the cultural demonstration. And that goes, it's part of your heritage, it's part of global heritage, and I think it lifted everybody in the room. So from the bottom of my heart, I would like to say thank you very, very much to the students and alumni of GMU. This conference is very unusual because this year we have 11 associated partners, and they're very, very important and very prestigious partners and very distinguished international chair of public international law at the University of Cambridge to moderate the last session. And I wasn't here to thank her personally. Our colleagues in the Naval War College, Professor Kraska is a friend of mine going back over 20 years and ably represented by Commander Chris Hutton. The Ministry of Earth Sciences really gave us a great departure point for the conference with just this incredibly forensic analysis of the science of the Indian Ocean. And I think what we can say collectively is this has been the best catered conference in the 48 years. I mean, the hospitality, the quality of the food, the enrichment, every aspect of the conference program. And I'd like in particular to thank the moderators and the keynote speakers. And in particular, I would make reference to the 40 contributors to the technical program from 20 countries around the world, as well as the extraordinary 7 keynote presentations. And I look down at my friend Rama, you've travelled from New York specifically, and we only rang you up a couple of weeks back, and you said, "No, count me in." And you know, and that shows your commitment to you're a son of the soil. Your commitment to your mother country, and it's wonderful to be here and share this august gathering with you. Mr. Shetty, you've enriched the entire discussion over the last 2 days, and part of the technical program, and this is the hard bit, part of the technical program is to deliver papers. So we will be chasing down the 40 speakers from 20 nationalities, may I add, here over the last 2 days. 7 panels, and really we had a wonderful round table on BBNJ. I mean, it was with a particular focus on small island developing states, and we'll be carrying that discussion forward in the Seychelles next February. And we would encourage everybody in the room to promote the ratification and the implementation of the BBNJ agreement. I mean, I think that's a key message. It came across in the keynotes, and it came across in the technical panels. The other thing I'm coming away with is the spirit of international law is very much alive in the region, and I think that's hugely important. And the Secretary General of the United Nations feels the rule of international law is under attack, and I think collectively as international lawyers we have to support the law, and that is inherently important, both in the institutions, the processes, and I think that was very prevalent in this technical program. Last but not least, I think it took 47 years to get the conference home to one of the great sources of international law, and the intellectual capital going back to the very genesis of international law lies here in this region, and we should never ever forget that. And it's with happiness that I'm going to leave New Delhi. It's been a wonderful, wonderful conference, and what I take away is the people and the new friends, the wonderful students. I have no fear for international law because everybody that came up here to present was so thorough in their analysis, and there wasn't a single paper that I didn't learn something new, and that has been a really wonderful journey for me over the last 3 days. Professor Shantakumar, President of Provost of Gujarat Maritime University, and indeed Chief Secretary of the Government of Gujarat, thank you very much on behalf of me and my colleagues. And lastly, you know, the people that present up here are just the front of house, but there's an entire team behind what we do here, and their contribution often goes unsung. So the support teams, starting here in GMU, our colleagues in the Naval War College in Rhode Island, as well as our own colleagues at the World Maritime University. Again, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
We extend our sincere thanks to Professor Ronan Long for his insightful reflection on the conference. We are now honored to welcome Commander Chris Hutton of the U.S. Navy's Elite Judge Advocate General Corps. Commander Hutton's work at the Stockton Center for International Law places him at a global epicenter of this field. It is at the U.S. Naval War College that the frameworks for tomorrow's maritime challenges are forged. He is not just an interpreter of law, he is part of the intellectual vanguard shaping it. Please join me in giving a welcome to Commander Chris Hutton.
Well, that's a tough act to follow. Rather than try and follow it, I think I'll keep my remarks short because I think you both, you gentlemen, absolutely beautifully reflected the value of COLP, the value of the camaraderie that we saw here, and what the promise of this conference is, and the fact that it was reflected and succeeded here thanks to the help of the folks. So I'll keep my remarks here brief. But on behalf of Admiral Walker, the President of the United States War College, Professor James Kraska of the Stockton Center for International Law, please allow me to express my deepest gratitude to you all. I would especially like to extend heartfelt thanks to the Chief Secretary, Professor Shantakumar, as well as Professor Singh and Professor Long, our partners on the planning teams at Gujarat Maritime University, World Maritime University, our sponsors, the many moderators, rapporteurs, and finally the infectiously enthusiastic and impressive GMU students whose hard work and dedication made this event possible. I mean, they're the best part of this event, I think. For me, I loved the academic discussion, but the GMU students, you guys made this an amazing event, an amazing event. And I have to say the future of Indian law is just incredibly promising. If you are a reflection of your community, wow. So thank you. So yes, if we could just do one more round of applause for them. A truly impressive and amazing group of students. So it has been an honor to learn and work with all of you over the past 3 days, and for those of you on the planning team over the past 2 months. I came to this late, so I just started in my position, and so I had to pick up, but the folks at GMU and WMU brought me into the fold very quickly, and we just put on an amazing conference, so thank you. And then I just will finally close it out with something we say in the Navy. So I wish you all fair winds and following seas as you return home, and look forward to seeing you again in the near future. Thank you for your participation.
A special thank you to Commander Chris Hutton for your thoughtful reflections. Your perspective has brought both depth and direction to our closing, leaving us with ideas to carry forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Now it's our honor to welcome Ambassador Arif Hawas Ogroseno, Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs, Republic of Indonesia, a Harvard Law School graduate and a career diplomat. He has served as Indonesia's Vice Minister for Maritime Sovereignty, Ambassador to Belgium, and Ambassador to Germany. With decades of leadership in the maritime affairs, international law, and diplomacy, he brings unmatched perspective to today's discussions. Mr. Ogroseno would be joining us online.
Hello.
Hello, and can I be heard there? All right, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to extend my thanks to the invitations. I really would like to be there in Gujarat. Last time I was there was, I think, 15 years ago. So it really is an honor for me to speak in the event organized by Gujarat Maritime University and also WMU. So first, thanks to President of Gujarat Maritime University and of course to Professor Ronald Long, a very long time friend actually of me. Last time I met Ronan was in the UN Ocean Conference in Nice just a couple of months back. So I would like to have some short remarks about, first of all, about Indonesia's interest and approaches to Indian Oceans, and secondly, on what I think that we should do. What we mean is the country in Indian Oceans and also other countries in terms of how we look at Indian Oceans and how we should manage the Indian Ocean in the most peaceful manner. Indonesia is one of the coastal states of Indian Oceans. We are also happen to be, Indonesia happens to be the largest archipelagic state in the world. I think not very many country in the world that has two oceans fronting its territory. We have our Indian Oceans, part of Indian Oceans, in the western part of Sumatra Island and on the southern part of Java Island, which is in the western part of Indonesia. And we have Pacific Oceans in the eastern part of Indonesia. Not very many countries in the world actually that you have oceans on two sides of your boundaries. United States is one of them. Indonesia is another. So when you look at the world map, not very many countries actually that has these unique positions. For us, for Indonesia, there are three big aspects that we see in the Indian Ocean for us. Number one, geostrategy. Number two, economic. And number three, sustainability concern. Let me start with number one, geostrategic element. The Indian Oceans is an ocean that connects Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. And this makes the ocean a very important connecting factors. It is also very important for the global trade and security as well. On the issue of geostrategic, I think we are increasingly witnessing more and more flexing of muscles, I would say, in Indian Oceans. More and more nuclear-powered submarines and warships are now traversing Indian Ocean. So I think this is a new aspect that we have not seen in the last 20 years. And I believe countries in the Indian Oceans should continually mention the importance of peace and stability in the Indian Oceans. Number two is the economic interest. There are actually three elements of economic interest. Number one is the use of the surface of the Indian Ocean, which is the navigations, freedom of navigations of goods, of services, navigations of oil and gas, energy from Africa, from the Middle East to Asia, and vice versa. It's a very important element of the use of the surface of Indian Oceans. And second, the economic interest in relations to the body of the water of Indian Ocean itself, which is fisheries, which is a source of protein and economic livelihood. I think it's even more relevant today when we talk about protein, because we are more and more now, human beings are more and more, and we start to see that depending protein in land-based animal is getting more and more untenable. That's why going to the ocean is the only way to do it. And of course, in relations to the economic livelihood, people who live in the coastal area, these are a very important element as well. The third element of economic interest in our view is the continental shelf. The extended continental shelf for our case, for instance, and also the possible use of continental shelf economically for the coastal states in the future. So that was the second one. The third one is sustainability issue. We are looking at overfishings. We are looking at IU fishings in the Indian Oceans. We are looking also at climate change impact, rising sea level, and also possibility of disaster issue coming from the oceans, as we have seen in the tsunami 2004, which I think created a lot of economic impact in the countries of Indian Ocean. So those are the three main elements that Indonesia is looking. It means also in a simple assessment, it's a source of threats, it's a source of challenges, but it's also a source of opportunity. This is how we see it in Indonesia. In terms of how we want to manage Indian Oceans, I think We are using, of course, the fundamentals of law in the ocean management, which is UNCLOS, UN Convention Law of the Sea, which we believe is constitution for the oceans. I heard Professor Ronan mention about the importance of law of the sea. I also heard what the previous speaker talked about the importance of maintaining rule of law at sea. I think that should become the basis of our thinking, of our policy, of our approach in the Indian Oceans. The second is the more practical elements of the Indonesian engagement in Indian Ocean. We are looking, of course, we are member of the IORA, Indian Ocean Dream Associations. We are also member of the Indian Ocean Tuna Commissions. And we believe that discussions on the fishery management of the country's Indian Ocean needs to be strengthened even more. See, the reason I'm saying this was that, well, actually, yesterday we had a meeting of a number of countries from Indian Oceans in Jakarta, and in that meeting we discussed about the catch of tuna like and other fish in the Indian Oceans, and it was quite interesting that the total catch is somewhere around 6 to 8 million tons, but 20% are caught by European ships. I think this is disproportionate because the European countries, they don't have coast in the Indian Oceans. Well, they had in the past, but not anymore. Okay, so I think this is something that we countries in the Indian Ocean needs to look at this much more deeply. This actually is a challenge of unequal practices, and I think there is an imbalance in negotiating power. Developing countries in the Indian Oceans, we are lacking capacity at sea in Indian Oceans, but also unfortunately, I see that sometimes our fellow country in developing country in Indian Oceans, they lack the capacity to influence decisions or enforce rules. So I think this is one aspect that probably the discussions at the Gujarat Maritime University could have a look, either now or probably later on. Now, on the broader visions of Indonesia on the approaches to ocean governance, coming from those three important few that I mentioned, geopolitics, economic, and sustainability issue, I think we should underline the importance of, again, three partnerships. Equity means that the ocean governance in the Indian Ocean must respect the coastal countries' right, not just the industrial powers. And sustainability is a very important aspect, where not only fisheries or other marine resources that must be managed for future generation, but also sustainability in terms of coastal community, that we all have to look at it very carefully together. And partnership. So what I mean by partnerships is that developing countries in Indian Ocean, we must strengthen the South-South cooperations, including technology transfer and capacity building. If you look at the issue of partnership of South-South cooperation, it is actually very fitting for the Indian Ocean because I think all countries in the Indian Oceans, especially memberships in the IORA, are countries from the south, and so happened that Indian Ocean is the southern part of the hemisphere. So it's very fitting in terms of geopolitics and the political reality of countries in the Indian Oceans. So people-centered, equity, sustainability driven, and future oriented. I believe that those are the elements that we need to work together for a food of thought. I would like to bring you some ideas where I think this is a good time for coastal states, scholars, and policymakers to support collective approaches that prioritize sustainability, equity, and people-centered matter. That I think is the point that I would like to make at this juncture, and I'm looking forward to work with many of you in the future to bring about some of these ideas that I mentioned into reality. Once again, thank you very much, President of Gujarat Maritime University and Professor Ronald Long for inviting me both the events today. Thanks.
Sincere appreciation is extended to Ambassador Arif Hawaz Ograsena for your thoughtful and inspiring remarks. Thank you so much, sir. It gives me immense pride and pleasure to welcome Professor Maximo K. Meya, an accomplished global leader, scholar, and visionary in the field of maritime governance, policy, and administration. Professor Maximo currently serves as the 8th president of the World Maritime University and was named among Lloyd's list 100 most influential people in shipping. We will now play his recorded voice message.
Shri Pankaj Joshi, President, Gujarat Maritime University, Professor Shantakumar, Provost of Gujarat Maritime University, Professor James Kraska, and Professor Raul Pedroso, our partners from the Stockton Center for International Law of the U.S. Naval War College, my esteemed colleague, Professor Ronan Long, Director of the WMU Sasakawa Global Institute, Excellencies, senior officers from the armed forces, active duty and retired, distinguished guests, eminent participants, Devion Aur Sajjano, Namaste. It is for me a great honor on behalf of the World Maritime University to address you on the occasion of the 48th Conference on Oceans Law and Policy in the vibrant and historic city of New Delhi. WMU is a long-standing supporter of the COLP series. In 2019, we hosted the 43rd edition here in our home in Malmö, Sweden. Last year, we were privileged to serve as co-hosts at the 47th edition held in Lima, Peru. This year, we join once more as partners in COLP 48 in collaboration with the Stockton Center for International Law of the U.S. Naval War College, as well as Gujarat Maritime University. We extend our deepest appreciation to our distinguished co-sponsors and collaborators, our parent body, the International Maritime Organization, our long-standing donor, the Nippon Foundation, our sister institution, the International Maritime Law Institute, Ankara University National Center for the Sea and Maritime Law, Korea Maritime Institute, Japan Institute for International Affairs, University of Copenhagen, Norwegian Center for the Law of the Sea, National University of Singapore, National Maritime Foundation, Athens PIL Center, and many others whose contributions are truly indispensable. This edition is particularly significant. COLP 48 marks the first time this distinguished conference is hosted on the Indian subcontinent, a milestone that we at WMU are honored to support. COLP is a leading global forum for advancing the legal and policy frameworks that govern our oceans. The theme, Developing World Approaches to Ocean Governance, Perspectives from the Indian Ocean Rim, could not be more timely. The Indian Ocean region, home to nearly 1/3 of the world's population, is a veritable crossroads of global trade and culture. From the Strait of Hormuz to the Strait of Malacca, its sea lanes are vital arteries of international commerce, energy, and connectivity. This region's maritime domain also harbors immense natural wealth, fisheries that sustain millions, seabed resources with the potential to shape future industries, and ecosystems of profound ecological consequence. Yet, it also faces urgent challenges, such as climate change, marine pollution, biodiversity loss, piracy, and illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. For Indian Ocean Rim states, many of which are developing nations and small island states, the task of harmonizing sustainable development, maritime security, and environmental stewardship is both critical and immediate. India's leadership is rooted in its expansive coastline, regional stewardship, and strategic influence, which renders New Delhi the fitting venue for this conference that will amplify the voice of the developing world in the global maritime arena. Related to this, allow me to highlight at least two important aspects that connect India directly to WMU. The first involves a venerable son of India and the founding father of the World Maritime University. In fact, the founding chancellor of WMU, Sir Chandrika Prasad Srivastava. While serving as IMO Secretary General, Dr. Srivastava was the visionary architect and driving force behind the establishment of the World Maritime University in 1983 here in Malmö, Sweden. Dr. Srivastava was personally engaged in the conception, planning, negotiation, fundraising, and coordination necessary to turn a dream into reality. His leadership embodied the values of international partnership, maritime excellence, and service to developing nations, values that today continue to guide both WMU and COLP. The second aspect that connects India directly to WMU are our esteemed alumni. India has the second highest number of WMU graduates worldwide, with more than 300 alumni. Across the wider Indian Ocean region, more than 1,000 graduates have passed through WMU's portals. These leaders, professionals, and policymakers embody the university's mission and carry forward our shared vision of safe, secure, and sustainable seas. Back to the core of this gathering. The triple planetary crisis of climate change, pollution, and biodiversity loss presents us with an urgency unprecedented in human history. Yet the seas offer not only peril, but also promise. With genuine regional cooperation, legal innovation, and proactive measures, we may still secure the boundless promise of sustainable development for future generations. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I am confident that the insights and deliberations at COLP 48 will help strengthen our collective capabilities and partnerships, advancing maritime safety, security, and sustainability across the Indian Ocean Rim, and indeed for the benefit of the global community. My sincerest wishes for a successful conference. Thank you.
We are grateful to Professor Maximo for sharing his remark on the conference. Now, it's my absolute delight to welcome our chief guest, Shri Pankaj Joshi, the 32nd Chief Secretary of Gujarat, a proud son of Nainital who chose Gujarat as his Karma Bhumi. He has spent more than 3 decades steering some of the most important sectors of governance, from finance and energy to urban development. With a career full of milestones, he stands one of the most experienced and respected IS officers in the country. Please join me in giving a warm round of applause to Shri Pankaj Joshi. Let's welcome Shri Pankaj Joshi to take over the stage.
Esteemed Director of the World Maritime University, Professor Ronan Long, distinguished Commander Christopher Hutton of the US Naval War College, Your Excellency Ambassador Arif Hawass, Vice Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia, Provost of Gujarat Maritime University and Director of Gujarat National Law University, Professor S. Shanta Kumarji, members of the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guards, respected leaders from the National Maritime Foundation, faculty and researchers from the universities around the world, ladies and gentlemen, namaste and good evening to all of you. It's a profound honor to stand before you today at the valedictory session of the 48th Conference of Oceans, Law and Policy. The conference is a landmark event not only for the Gujarat Maritime University, but for India as a whole, as it marks the first time this prestigious gathering has been hosted on our soil. On behalf of Gujarat Maritime University, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our co-hosts, the World Maritime University and the US Naval War College, for their invaluable intellectual inputs and collaboration in making this conference a resounding success. I'd also like to express our deep appreciation to the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, and the Korean Maritime Institute for their generous support, which was instrumental in bringing this vision to fruition. And to the Indian Navy, the Indian Coast Guard, and the National Maritime Foundation, thank you for the steadfast commitment to maritime security and for your insightful contribution to our discussions. The theme of our conference, the Indian Ocean Rim Countries, are developing countries' perspective on the ocean's law and policy, is particularly timed and critical. While the international legal framework, such as the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, provides a universal constitution for the oceans, its application and interpretations are shaped by the diverse realities of coastal states. For the developing nations of the Indian Ocean, our relationship with the sea is not just about sovereignty or resources. It is a matter of survival, economic prosperity, and cultural heritage. As developing countries, we face a unique set of challenges. We are often on the front lines of climate change impacts, including sea level rise and extreme weather events. We are also grappling with issues of food security, which are directly tied to the health of our fisheries. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing robs us of our vital marine resources, and marine pollution, particularly from plastic waste, threatens our coastal communities and ecosystems. However, the Indian Ocean also presents immense opportunities. The concept of a blue economy offers a pathway to sustainable growth, leveraging our marine resources for development while protecting the environment. This includes sustainable fisheries management, coastal tourism, renewable energy from the ocean, and responsible seabed mining. The challenge lies in crafting policies that balance these development needs with the imperative of conservation. The law of sea isn't merely a set of regulations. It's a foundation for stability, cooperation, and sustainable development. As Peter Thompson, the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for the Ocean, once stated, "The ocean knows no borders." Therefore, a robust international legal framework is essential for peaceful coexistence and for managing shared resources. For developing countries, this framework must be supported by capacity building and equitable access to marine science and technology. The discussions we have had over the past few days have highlighted the crucial role of collective action. We must work together to strengthen regional governance instruments, enhance maritime domain awareness, and combat transnational threats. The partnerships forged here among universities, government agencies, and research institutions are the seeds of a more collaborative and secure maritime future for the Indian Ocean. Ultimately, our discussions are not just for us. They are for those who will inherit the oceans we leave behind. The renowned oceanographer Jacques Cousteau famously said, "The oceans deserve our respect and care, for we are borrowing their future." This sentiment must be the guiding principle of our actions. We have a moral obligation to protect oceans, not just for their intrinsic value, but because our very existence depends on them. The health of the ocean is inextricably linked to the health of humankind. Marine biologist Sylvia Earle puts it best: no water, no life, no blue, no green. The oceans provide us with their air we breathe, the food we eat, and regulate our climate. We must act now with a sense of urgency to reverse the damage we have done and to ensure that the oceans remains a source of life and prosperity for generations to come. As this conference concludes, let us carry forward the spirit of cooperation and the wealth of knowledge we have gained. Let's translate our academic discourse into meaningful policy and real-world action. Let's work together to create a future where the Indian Ocean is a model of sustainable development, security, and environmental stewardship. Thank you very much.
We are truly honored to have had your guidance at this important platform, and we look forward to carrying forward the momentum that your words have inspired. Thank you so much, sir. As we draw this conference to a close, we are not just ending a conference. We are standing at the threshold of new beginnings. Let us carry forward the momentum of these discussions like a steady wind filling our sails, propelling us toward tangible actions and impactful change. Together, we have laid the kneel for a more sustainable, equitable, and secure ocean future. We will now stand together for the national anthem. I kindly request everyone to please rise.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone for joining. I kindly ask all organizers, students and faculty to join us for the photo session. Everybody, please come for the group photo. We should stand there. We'll stand there.
After that, WMU.
Sure, sure.